All right. Hey, you guys. I am going to snag this. Hello. It is good to see your faces. Thanks for turning your cameras on. Happy Tuesday, you guys. We are like a week and a couple days before Christmas, and it is coming real fast. How many of you have everything done? I definitely do not. But I'm really, really excited because in just over a week, we have the big announcement coming for December 29th, which is going to launch our entire next year. So 2021 is actually launching December 29th, which is my birthday. And I was like, thank you, Mark and Cindy, for giving me that birthday present. Whatever it is, it's coming. I'm excited. I think we're going to have a new product. I think we're going to have new compensation plan announcements. I think we're going to have new bonuses. So I'm super, super excited. So just to give you guys a quick reminder, right now we still have the $20.20 add-ons for the Skinny Brew, the TFX, and the Hair, Skin, and Nails for all new customers. We have free shipping over $99, and all of your customers' Perks points expire at the end of the year. So make sure you're contacting all of them now and letting them know that they need to get those redeemed or that money disappears, okay? If you have any questions about that, just reach out and we will help you navigate how to do that. Okay, so you guys, I am really, really, really excited because we had some promotions this last month, and you have to sit with me for just a second because I actually just lost the thing that I was going to read to you, and I'm not prepared tonight apparently because my brain is going a million miles an hour. Does anybody else feel like that? It's like Christmas time and we're doing all the things, Christmas cards and wrapping presents and trying to sign customers and just everything that we're doing right now. But last month was an amazing month and we had some promotions, and I'm going to shout out everybody who promoted because you guys just rocked your business last month. So hold please. Sorry for not being organized. I did have this up and running, and then, all right. So last month we had Megan Watkins, Kimberly Feister, Chelsea Simpson, Melinda Fry, and Katie Brazil all promoted to executive. Congratulations, ladies. We had Veronica Sprague, Rachel Allen, and Brian Looker all promote to Ruby, and we had Kelsey Erickson promote to Emerald. You guys, I am really, really excited tonight to introduce you to Kelsey, who promoted to Emerald last month, but she actually promoted 3 spots, and we're going to explain that to you in just a minute because she actually promoted herself to Emerald, and she promoted her husband to Ruby, and she promoted her sister to Ruby, which was the structure of her Emerald. So she basically did the work of 3 people, and she's absolutely incredible, you guys. She has 3 kids at home under 5. She's homeschooling, and I got to meet her this spring, and it was just like such a breath of fresh air to have somebody come in my organization who just like caught the vision immediately. And just in the last 3 months alone, she's enrolled 10 distributors and 102 customers. Okay, so I hope you guys have a pen and a piece of paper and you're ready to take some notes on what Kelsey is doing. So Kelsey, come talk to us.
Hi.
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so tell everyone who you are and where you're from and when you got started.
Okay, so I'm Kelsey Erickson. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. And I already lost the first thing you said. Who I am, where I'm from.
When did you get started?
I started in May of this year. And I'm an Emerald. Yay!
Awesome. Okay, so tell everybody a little bit about how you got started. Like, what was the process of you looking, finding, etc.?
Okay. Well, I had been a part of lots of companies before, and they just completely bombed. And I'd been searching for a long time, probably like 6-7 months, and I had lots of people like coming to me saying join my team or whatever, and I was like no. But then I found a Hair, Skin, and Nails post that my friend did, and my husband had recently told me probably like that week that he wanted me to grow my hair out. So I was like, oh, well, looky there. And I commented, and it just so happened to be that it was Noelle Cruz's hair post. And she, you know, went through the whole thing. And I was actually one of those that thought the product was free. I didn't understand the whole my cost thing. So when you told me it was X amount of money, I was like, okay, if I'm going to spend money, I might as well spend money on something that I want to do. So I jumped right from being a hair customer to a distributor in like what, a day, 2 days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty immediately. Yes. And that was the month. Can you hear me? Is my internet glitchy? Okay. Sorry. If my internet's glitchy, let me know. That was the month that I pretty much did all hair, skin, and nails host to post. Do you guys ever find that you just stick with one thing? Like right now, I'm doing the cleanse, and the cleanse seems to be working really, really well for me. But that was April/May, and all I was doing was hair, skin, and nails host to post. And I think I signed like 56 customers that month just from the hair, skin, and nails host to post, and a bunch of distributors, but a ton of customers because everybody was in quarantine, and they were like, well, I can't get a haircut. I might as well grow my hair out, right? So that was how I met Kelsey, and I love that because it was a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend that did a post for me that you saw.
Yep. It's pretty cool how we tracked it back too.
Yeah. Yes. Awesome. Okay. So when you were just somebody who was just like, I stalked your page. Tell me more about the business. So when you were, can we talk about that for just a second? Because I feel like content creation is hard sometimes. People really struggle with sharing their story. They struggle with what to post. So when you were specifically, like when you came to my page and you were like, okay, I want to look at this business. What was it that you saw that made you more intrigued over these other businesses that you had turned down multiple times?
Well, one of the things that I think stuck out to me the most was like how real you were on your page. You were just like blunt and honest, and it was like 100% you on your Facebook. I felt like I knew you just from looking on your page, which I liked that. And then the other thing that I saw was also a lot of promotions. And I liked how like every single person, no matter what their rank was getting, recognition and just, I don't know, like I read like all the comments of all of the other people, and I liked the feel. Mm-hmm. And I knew like, okay, she has all these promotions and everything that she's saying like is down to earth and is her. So I actually remember like scrolling your page and I was like, this girl knows what she's doing. Like I want in, because there was just something about your page that was just like, she's real, she's honest, she tells her story. So that's how I felt like I knew you, which is why I joined.
That's awesome. No, that's so good. And I feel like we need to put ourselves out there, right? And just live our lives out loud. And when you can do that, people are going to be drawn to you or they're not. I have people that are like, I don't want to work with you. I'm like, that's totally fine. You're not my type of person, right? And we just don't jive, and that's totally fine. So when you got started, tell everybody a little bit about like what your day-to-day looks like.
Right now, or what it looked like before?
Well, we'll get into a little bit of both. What did it look like then? Okay. And then we'll dig into what it looks like now.
Okay, so what it looked like then was obviously quarantine had just started. So there was a lot of trying to just relearn everything, husband being at home. And I know for me, I was feeling very discouraged because I didn't have the friends interacting and things and going places, no church. But there had been like this, I don't know how to describe it, restlessness, I guess, in my whole being, because I was like, I want to be doing more, but I didn't know where to go. So I was getting my certification to be a personal trainer, and I knew like I wanted to help people, but I didn't know how. So that's why I had been searching for so long and just trying to find like what it was that God wanted me to do.
That's so cool. That's just like perfect place, perfect time. And it was interesting because I was looking back, and so like I do the Dream Life Journal all the time, and I was looking back and like some of the things I was journaling about, and like just those affirmations, like the people that I'm bringing into my business, because I feel like 2020 brought me some incredible people. You guys, like, I can just tell you, like, Kelsey is one of a dozen people that came in my business in 2020 that I'm just like totally pumped about. And I love them. I'm like, God brought me the best people. But like, I just like journaling those affirmations, like, I'm signing people who are self-motivated. I'm signing people who are self-starters. I'm signing people who have good networks. I'm signing people who are, who are teachable and coachable and willing to work. And, I'm signing people who have thick skin, like all of those things. And I was like writing down those affirmations daily, and the affirmations are a very real thing. So if you're not doing them, I highly encourage you to do them, but, you're just a testimony to that. So when you got started, what did that look like? Tell everybody a little bit about the process, because I know that there's some people on here who have just gotten started or feel like they're just restarting, and they're like, I don't really know, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I'm going to be successful. I don't know how long it's going to take. So what did that look like for you?
Like what was I feeling, or like how did I get started?
Yeah, like what were you feeling, and what do you think allowed you to get a jump start right away? Because you earned your shopping spree in 3 days, I think it was.
Yeah.
About 3 days. So what do you think allowed you to get such a quick jump start?
Well, I think a lot of it had to do with me growing myself as an individual. Like I said, with the other companies, like I failed in those, and it was other reasons too. But I think a lot of it was my mindset and being ready for it. But like I had listened to Mark and Cindy's video on there, and like I absorbed everything that they were and everything that they were sharing, and I was like, this is what I was looking for. So it was very easy for me to catch the vision because I believed in everything. And like, with your page and everything, I just felt like it was kind of like a divine moment. Like I knew this was where I was supposed to be. So it just felt so easy for me to just go for it and just jump right in. Like, I don't know, like there's just, that feeling when you know that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. That's which awesome. just helped fuel the flame for me to just keep going faster.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. So what was it like? Well, I'm just going to ask you like some specific questions.
Okay.
Because I feel like, and you can say yay or nay. And if you guys have questions for Kelsey, please ask them in the chat, and we'll talk about those things. But when you got started, you were blowing up my phone.
Yes, I was.
Okay. So that's a good thing. And I think that oftentimes we're afraid to do that, right? We're like, you sign a distributor and they're like, I don't want to bother you, right? And really we're like, bother us, because when you bother us, it's really working. And so that was one thing that really stood out to me about you right away, is I knew you were going to be successful because you were blowing up my phone. So that's something that's really, really important. But where are you finding, like, really, like I said, 10 distributors, 103 customers just in the last 3 months? Where are you finding all of your customers, all of your distributors?
Honestly, I have no idea. Like, so I have signed some people from my stories. I have signed some people that were like friend of a friend that saw a post, but they never commented on it. But I mean, the majority of them is from host to post. Distributors, I'm trying to think here. A lot of them reached out to me, like a couple of them where they wanted to try a product and they said they couldn't afford it. And so I just like voice texted them and I was like, well, if you need more income, like I work from my phone. So, I can help you do that. And they jumped right on. But yeah, so I mean, a lot of my customers is just host to post, and I'm not the best at getting 10 up a day. But I will usually try to get like 15 to 20 up at least once a week. And then that just kind of like rolls me into the rest of the week. But yeah, I mean, nothing special, just stories and host to post and sharing my story. Like I do know sharing my story has gotten me a couple of the distributors, because they were like, okay, I need to know what you're doing.
Yes, that's awesome. So host to post. And that was something that, took you a minute to learn, but you are a super fast learner. So obviously like you got that quickly. Okay. So let's talk about signing distributors, because how many of you on the Zoom would like to know how to sign more distributors? Drop a 2 in the chat if you would like to know how to sign more distributors. I want to hear from you guys. So Kelsey,
Yes.
you sign distributors the way that I coached you to sign distributors, which is through three-way calls. So
Exactly.
a lot of people struggle with doing three-way calls because they're like, I don't know how to get people on the phone. Okay. So if you pretend like you're talking to me, pretend like I'm your prospect, what are you going to say to me to get me on the phone to do a three-way call? And I know you're not going to tell me it's a three-way call right away, but like, what would you say to me if you have somebody who's a potential distributor and I'm like, I don't have any money. I want the hair, skin, and nails, but I don't have any money. What would this conversation look like? We're going to role play for a minute.
Okay. So if you tell me you can't afford it, then I voice text you. I'm like, or other voice text, and I'll be like, well, I work from my phone. Would you be interested in learning how to make money like I do from my phone? That's usually what I say. Or I will type that out depending on if my children are screaming in the background. So that's usually just how I put it. Like, well, if you need money, like I work from my phone. So I would love to help you do the same thing.
What do you do?
What'd you say? You broke up there for a minute.
I said, yes. What do you do? Tell me what you do.
So then I just go right into the script that we have written most of the time. Occasionally I will voice text. It just kind of depends on the feel that I'm getting from that person. What I usually tend to do is if I say like, if I voice text them and they send me like a, yeah, sure. I usually just stick to text, like just the messages. But if they're like, oh my goodness, yes, like I need this, then I'll start voice texting them because I feel like they're more eager. And I want to like establish that relationship, if that makes sense.
Yes, for sure. I'm going to put that, if I can find it. I can't search on my notes on my computer, but I was going to put that script in the comments that you like to use so that everyone has it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you send them the script and they say, yes, I want to know more about that. How do you get them on the phone?
Well, so I will usually, when I give them the price info, some of them are like, yes, let's get started right away. And I have actually signed a couple, like 3 or 4, without getting them on a phone call. But a lot of times they'll be like, can I think about it? So they'll be like, yeah, sure. How about we set up a phone call for sometime this week and we just chat about that. I don't usually tell them that there's going to be somebody else on the line. So.
Yes. And then when you do get them on the phone, what happens?
Well, I introduce you. Well, I put them on the call. You know, I talk with them for a few minutes, then we merge, and then I introduce them to you, and I let you take it away because you're the pro. But
so the thing that I love about, because I've probably done 30 three-way calls for you, 30 or 40 three-way calls for you since you started, right? So pretty consistent, at least 5 to 10 a month, right? And the thing that's so powerful about three-way calls is three-way calls have always worked and they will always work. So back in the day, network marketing did not look like what we have our hands on right now. You guys, we have it so easy. When I was with my first company over a decade ago, we literally did coffee shop meetings with like pop-up banner presentations, flip charts, samples, all on the table in front of you. You had to invite people. You had to get in front of people. You had to have face-to-face conversations with people. And if you didn't do that, you had to pick up the phone and cold call people. So many people are afraid of network marketing because they're like, they don't want those things. And we have like with Host to Post, you guys, we are the only company that does Host to Post. We just crush our enrollments because of that. And it's a really powerful tool. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to recruiting, it's all about the relationship and the affirmations. So what happens is, and I do this as well, when you have somebody who's interested in the business and you can get them on the phone, what Kelsey would do, for instance, is she would say, my girlfriend Noelle is a top earner. She's been my coach since I started, and I would love to introduce you to her so she can answer all of your questions. Then she's going to get us on the phone, and two things are going to happen here. One, she's going to esteem her prospect to me, and then vice versa. So she's going to say, hey, Noelle, this is Carly. She and I met on Facebook, and Carly is just like the sweetest thing. She has the best energy. She's a mom. She really could use this money so she can stay home with her baby. And I think she'd be amazing at this because whatever. Okay. So like now Carly's like, oh my gosh, Kelsey thinks the world of me, right? So now like she's all pumped. And then she's gonna be like, what was I calling her? Carly? I think I was calling her Carly.
Carly.
Sorry, I'm like making up names. Then she's gonna be like, Carly, this is Noelle. She's been in the business for almost 8 years. She's a top money earner. She's gonna be able to answer all of your questions. And now Carly's like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to somebody who's been here for a long time. So first of all, that tells her that there's longevity here. Two, it tells her that I've had success, right? That I know what I'm doing. And then that's it. And then Kelsey mutes her phone because her kids are probably screaming in the background. And yes. She's taking notes. And then I talk, and then at the end of the call, I hand the call back over to her, and the person's ready to sign up. And that's what happens. That's why three-way calls are so powerful. And you want to always do three-way calls with like your diamond upline. I've had rubies do three-way calls and they went phenomenal. It's not necessarily about the rank. It's about your level of confidence and really know-how. I mean, I was doing three-way calls for my team when I was a ruby, but I was like super green and I was like studying the products. I was a nerd. So that's a totally different story. But you really like, it's just about putting them on the phone with somebody else who can say, now there's two people who believe in the business against this one person who's skeptical. And that creates a really powerful recruiting situation. So if you're not doing three-way calls, I highly, highly recommend it. And it's a really powerful way to recruit people. And I don't ever tell people I'm getting them on the phone. Like if I'm putting somebody on the phone with Chad, I will call them and I'll say, you know what, I was talking to my mentor, you know, he's a top 20 money earner or whatever. And I'll say, he had a little bit of time. He's super busy. We need a little bit of time to chat with you. And I think that he'd be able to answer all your questions way better than I could. Let me get him on the phone. Like, and I'll just connect them, you know, and then they have two people. Okay. So do you want to say anything else about like recruiting distributors? Because I feel like that's a big deal. And you literally have built an organization, like you're structured for Diamond Plus. Okay. So you guys, when I say plus, I mean, she's working on her double diamond structure right now. And you've done that almost exclusively on your own. And you have family members in leadership positions. So you're the emerald, but your husband's going to be your emerald for your diamond, and your sister's a ruby, and making some transitions there. But like you've got your mom as a ruby and your dad is a ruby. And like, so she's helping her family through this process. And the cool thing about that is you're helping your family until you enroll somebody who's going to be somebody who wants to work, really, who's going to be a runner, right? Because there's lots of people that are working and kind of just dabbling here and there. And the new year might like just spark something underneath them where they start running. You never know how long it's going to take for somebody to click. But in the meantime, you're blessing your mom and your dad, and you're getting a double paycheck, and your sister, and that's just such a cool thing. So do you have anything else you want to say about recruiting distributors?
I guess the only thing that I feel like I want to share is that be a person first, because people can like pick up on that vibe, like, oh, you just need someone. But so like I've had this one girl, she's been wanting to join me for probably like 2 months now. And she's got a lot of issues going on, but I still check in with her. And I'm like, and she's like hosting for me like every week, like a post or whatever. And she keeps saying like, I really want to join you, but I can't because of X, Y, and Z. But anyway, like just be a person first, because if somebody's not ready to join you now, they might be in a few months if you're consistent and if you're staying true to who you are the whole way through.
Yeah, that's so good. I love that. And this is a relationship business at its core, right? So we get to live together. So cool. Okay, so now school year started. What do your days look like now? And how do you organize your day? And how do you fit it all in?
Well, I'm actually just now starting to get working on that. My daughter turned 6 2 days ago. So now it's like, okay, I really have to like start doing this homeschooling thing. I can't like let it slide anymore. So I'm still trying to work out that routine, but what I have finally kicked myself into gear on is I'm getting up early. I'm getting up at 6 o'clock. And I'm doing my call with my accountability partner, and we're doing our affirmations, and we're journaling, and we're praying over our teams in the morning. And then I'm exercising right afterwards and making breakfast for everybody so that by 8:30, everyone in my family's been taken care of. And then I go and I will do some posts and things like that and answer my messages. But really with the way our schedule flows right now, like I work it when I have the time. So like if we're sitting down having lunch, I'm answering messages and things like that. But I do the majority of my work at night. So I will like always post my giveaway post at night, or my green light messages and things like that. And I usually work like the big chunk between like 8 and 10.
Awesome. So how many hours a day would you say that you're putting in to like income producing activities, not personal development or journaling or Bible study or anything like that? Like how many hours a day would you say you're doing income producing activity?
I've never actually really tracked it, but I'd say probably 2 to 3 hours. My husband would probably say more.
I'd probably say more too.
I probably would say more. But yeah, probably about 2 to 3 hours, just depending on the day.
Okay. Awesome. Good. Well, do you guys have any questions for Kelsey? Like anything you want to ask her at all besides, I know somebody's asking about, how you stay organized and all that. Do you have any organization tips you want to share?
Well, like I said, I'm just starting to dive into that. But I really loved the call last night where you went over like how to organize, like what is your priority? And something that Ashley Mayfield said on one of her TikToks was like, stop saying you don't have time for it. Start saying that it's not a priority for you. And that is like something that I've been really guilty of. Like for the longest time, I've been saying like, I just don't have time. I don't have time to exercise, or I don't have time to get up and do X, Y, and Z. But that one really stuck with me. Like if you start saying it's not a priority, then that's kind of going to like kick your brain into gear. Like, because for me, I was like, I kept saying like, I just don't have time to read my Bible, or I just don't have time to exercise. And it's like, no, you do. It's just being lazy. So I don't know, like just like figure out what is important and what needs to be done. And then just look at your calendar and figure out like, where can you put that in, and don't give yourself an excuse to not do it.
So good. So good. Your calendar is your boss. And you guys, I always recommend getting everything down on paper the night before. And that way you're ready to go for the next day. When you wake up, it's already done for you. There's not any scrambling. It's just like, you just know what's going to happen. And when you have your day planned out ahead of time, right on paper, your whole day goes better. It's amazing. So
that's another thing I've been doing is, just picking like 5 things, because like when I think of my whole week, like it's like, oh, I want to sign 15 customers and 3 distributors. Well, that seems kind of like a lot. But if you break it down and be like, okay, I want to sign 3 today, and I want to do a TikTok today, and I want to do, like pick 5 things. Mm-hmm. So that way when you go to bed at the end of the night, you're not discouraged because you didn't get, 10 things done.
Yeah. And do you have any advice for distributors that aren't working?
For distributors that aren't working, why? Like, why aren't you working? I'm sorry, I'm red. I'm like, I don't even understand that. I'm like, you signed up, find your vision, find why you did this, because you're here for a reason. God wants you here. So figure out what it is that you want, hone in, and just do it. Just do it. Yeah. Start small.
And for me, for distributors who aren't working, you guys have to know that this is a really nasty percentage, but it's about 90% of people you sign are going to do nothing. Okay. So it's your job to bring in new people. Like that's it. You need new blood. So don't leave those people. Like when I have new distributors, I literally will follow up with them multiple times a week, check in on them for like 6 to 8 weeks. When they're not doing anything after 6 to 8 weeks, they're going to hear from me once a month, not more than that. And that's okay. Because once a month, I'm going to invite them to start their business. And if they don't want to start in January, I'm going to invite them in February. And then I'm going to invite them in March. And then I'm going to invite them in April. And then I'm going to invite them every month to start their business for the whole year. And then if they cancel out after a year, I'm still going to be their friend. All you can do is love on people, but do not drag them along. That's actually taking energy out of you. It's creating negative energy in your space, and it's exhausting. So move on. Go recruit new people.
It is. I actually had one of the girls on my team, she messaged me this month, and she just has had a really hard time with it for various reasons. And she's like, I just don't think this is working for me. And I was like, yeah, okay, it's not. But to me, it was kind of like a weight off of my shoulders, because it was one of those things. She would always come to me with a problem and I would present a solution and she wouldn't listen to my advice. So yeah, always be recruiting, and don't let their issues come onto you. Like, you can only do so much.
Yes. So good. Yeah. Keep yourself in a positive headspace, because if you let people affect you, you're going to become as negative as them, and nobody wants that. Awesome. Well, I am so stinking proud of you. Congratulations. Going for Diamond this month.
Yes.
Yes. That is the plan. Going for Diamond this month. And you guys, I told you this Zoom was going to be short and sweet. So I just want to remind you, I will put the replay out actually I did put the replay out in the team page for yesterday's Zoom about dreaming, vision casting, and just launching into the new year. And next Monday, we're not going to have a Zoom next Tuesday. We're going to do our Zoom on Monday, and it's going to be a dream board party. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to go and I want you to watch the replay of the one that we did last night. And then come on Monday, we're going to do 8:30 to 10. It's going to be an hour and a half. And you can come with your dream board made and tell us all about it, because we're going to need lots of time. Or you can come with your stuff like pre-printed, everything like ready to go with your glue and everything. And you can make your board with us. And that's something really fun to do with your kids too. If you want to get your kids involved, you guys don't have to have some big fancy poster board. You can literally go get those dollar poster boards from Walmart and let your kids get one too, and give them magazines. Let them tear out photos that they love. Give them a glue stick. Let them create their own dream board and put on there whatever they want. The first time I let Ava make a dream board, it was full of horses and chandeliers. And there was like a J-Lo dress on there too. And I was a little bit like, I don't know what that one's about, but it was really cute. So it's really fun to see like what they're dreaming about. So that is going to be the plan. So next Monday at 8:30 to 10, we're going to do our dream board party. So I want you guys to come prepared for that, and just be prepared. You guys stay focused. I know that Christmas is right around the corner, and trust me, I'm like super overwhelmed right now with everything going on. So what I want you guys to do is time block, compartmentalize, and be like, okay, I'm going to go wrap Christmas presents for 2 hours. I'm gonna go work for an hour. Put your phone on do not disturb, get your post out, do your KPI, do your things, okay, and then get back to your family. So that's what you have to do right now. Even if you can only do an hour a day right now, that is going to propel your business into January. Because right now, I was on a Zoom with Cammie just the other day, and she was like, if you are not planting seeds right now, you will have no harvest in January. She's like, plant, plant, plant. Do not hold off on promotions. Build as many rubies as you can right now. It's just a little tip for whatever's coming on the 29th. So you guys, we want to stay focused. We want to keep planting seeds and keep being a friend, just like Kelsey said. Be a friend. Love on people. Okay. Well, thanks for hopping on tonight. It was good to see you guys. Congratulations, everyone who promoted in November. I'm super proud of you guys. I know we're going to have even more promotions this month. So I will see you guys back here for our dream board party on Monday. Bye, guys.
Bye.